Well, in a minute, we hope to be speaking to the IDF live, but earlier I spoke to Aaron David Miller, a senior fellow at the Carnegie Endowment for International Peace and a former State Department diplomat who spent decades negotiating for peace in the Middle East. I began by asking how an event like today's killing of Gazans waiting for food could impact the ceasefire talks going on right now. Are these talks, though, going on two levels? You know, on one level, they are there to bring about a ceasefire right now and get the hostages out, but they're also aimed at a longer-term settlement, and presumably Hamas want to increase the pressure for serious two-state solution talks.
I don't think Hamas has any interest in a two-state solution. I think what Hamas wants, basically, is to survive this, to release as many Palestinian prisoners, particularly security prisoners, with blood on their hands, hoping that international pressure will mount to create a situation where the Israelis will be forced to withdraw from densely populated areas in Gaza or from the Gaza Strip entirely.
Well, Mr. Fay, I mean, if we could begin with a few sort of just simple factual questions, because there's quite a lot that's not known about the GHF. So let's start with a fairly simple one. Where has all your funding come from since May? Well, you're not. Let's just stick to the questions as I ask them. So let's start with the money. Where does the money come from? I mean, that's extraordinary and pretty unheard of in the aid world, isn't it? I mean, so you can't, for example, say whether Israel is funding this.
I can. We do not take money from Israel and would likely say no to money from Israel.
What about the people involved in the GHF? Because there's only 2 people actually named on your website. So who are your directors and trustees, and do any of them come from either the CIA or Israeli security services? I mean, are there former security services people involved with GHF?
Yes, we also have veterans. No, U.S. American military, Marines, Special Forces operators, those types of folks who are our security personnel.
Well, so there are no former CIA people involved in GHF?
I'm not sure.
Now, most of the big aid agencies in the world are extremely critical of GHF, as you know, and accuse you of being accessories to the killing that is going on near your sites. You are coordinating very closely with the Israelis. You just admitted that. So why is this killing going on?
Yeah, I mean, I stated it. I'm not admitting anything. The way you're asking these questions, clearly you have an agenda. But
no, I have no agenda other than trying to find out what GHF is really about.
Well, as I said, we work with the IDF to deconflict outside our sites, and of course, they're waging a war. So the UN also works with the IDF and is also approved by the government of Israel to be able to operate inside Gaza. And so we are glad that the United Nations is trying to move more trucks further into Gaza. We're concerned about the safety and security that of their operation, because you can see the casualties that are happening. And I do think it's interesting that you bring up the other NGOs that are highly critical of us. You may not know this because it wasn't widely reported, but at Nasser Hospital, a busload of our local workers, many of whom now sleep and live on site because of the Hamas threat. A busload was murdered on video. 9 of them were murdered, and the 20 living survivors were dropped at Nasser Hospital, where Doctors Without Borders is, and they were refused treatment. They weren't allowed in, and they were left to die in the courtyard. So when you're asking us these questions, I think you should be asking the NGOs what their agenda is.
I mean, the problem is not so much the amount, although that obviously people are starving. It's the way you're doing it. That's what people are criticizing. It is militarized. You know, you've got barbed wire or razor wire. You've got armed guards who end up shooting at people, and you've got the IDF nearby who are definitely shooting at people and killing them. You know,
so you can ask
a GHF about how distribution site is like the bait in a trap, is what the allegation is. And you're luring people in, and then they're getting killed.
Yes, you're doing a good job carrying the water of Hamas, who says the same thing. That's what they are saying. And you are
just answer the question. We have
never shot.
Just answer the question.
We have never shot. What was the question?
Aren't you the bait in a trap in which over 1,200 people have been killed?
No, there have been 0 casualties at our sites. We have never fired a weapon at anyone. And in fact, I will tell you, the only casualties, hundreds of casualties near your sites. Yes, you say you want information from me, but you've interrupted every single question.
No, because it's totally
the answer
untrue.
that I've been trying to give.
I mean, it's very, very misleading to say there have been no casualties at your sites. They may not be literally
that's a fact.
on your sites where the
fact.
food is being given out, but the casualties are all near your sites where people are either approaching them or getting away, having got food. So it's very misleading to say that.
Those are two different things, and you are being misleading by conflating that, and you keep interrupting me when I tell you that there have been no
I'm stating the facts. The facts are widely known now, that people go to your sites, they pick up food.
Tell me the fact.
And they either get shot dead going towards the food or leaving after they've got food. Now, they may not be literally on the site, but they are near the site. And the allegation from the aid agencies is that you have militarized your operation. You're working in conjunction with the IDF and with your own armed guards, and therefore you are effectively the bait in a death trap.
Yeah, so you keep repeating that over and over. We are not. And have you asked them, have you had a representative from the United Nations on and asked them why there are casualties all over their convoys, all over social media? Why they can only get 6.5% of their aid?
This is quite different, Mr. Fay. You know, this is systematic. It's happening all the time.
Systematic? No, it is not happening all the time. It is not. We have been operating for almost 3 months. And it does not happen all the time. And by the way, this is an active war zone. We are delivering food to Gazans in an active war zone. And if you look at social media, you can see the videos of our distributions where there are no deaths happening. And then you can look at the UN aid convoys where people are swarming, people are getting run over, and armed men are riding it through Gaza City, having diverted it while people starve.
Yeah, before
there is
the
nothing
blockade,
humanitarian.
People were not being shot near aid sites. Before the Israeli blockade, people were not being shot at aid sites, lorries were not being overrun, people were not starving. Since the blockade, all of that has happened. You've taken over the operation and the distribution of aid to a massively inadequate degree, which is why people are starving. That's also not true. And now people are getting shot. Well, it is true.
We push publicly for the United Nations to also be allowed to operate. We have an invitation to collaborate with the UN. We agree that we are not doing enough. We are not enough.
They don't collaborate with you because you break all the rules of impartial aid delivery. You're not neutral and you're not impartial. You're working hand in glove with the Israelis and helping them deliver their policy objectives.
Doesn't sound like you're very neutral either. You're doing a very good job communicating Hamas disinformation to me and asking these questions over and over. I have told you there are no casualties at our site.
You can make personal attacks on journalists who ask awkward questions. It's fine. The facts are clear for everybody. More than 1,200 people are dead trying to access the aid that you're giving out. Your operation is not working.
Those casualties are not confirmed.
All say.
Yes, you're bringing up agencies who have literally publicly refused and let people die in the courtyard of a hospital. No one has died on our sites. We administer aid and food, and we have not turned anyone away. And we've delivered 120 million meals
They're being
to the
shot
people.
Dead.
Some of those casualties, again, are from the Gaza Ministry of Health, a Hamas agency. The IDF has trouble confirming some of those. And can't confirm the numbers that you are using, and neither can we, because we have not been involved in any of those shootings.